Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Mallory Camden. Thank you so much for viewing. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell so every time I upload a new video, you'll be sure to be notified. Okay, so as you probably can already tell by the name of the video, I'm going to give you 10 great date ideas under $10. And sometimes we're just on a budget and we can't always afford to splurge on our significant other like we want to. And even if we can, we may be trying to save up for something a little bit more important, like a house or a car or even a wedding. So I think these ideas that I'm going to give you are good for whether if it's a first date or even if you've been together for 10, 20, 50 years and maybe you're just trying to, rejuvenate that spark in the relationship, and maybe you're just on a budget or you're on a fixed income. So I came up with 10 great ideas to kind of go on some great dates. So stay tuned and let's get started. So date idea number 1 is that you can actually go on a picnic, which seems like, I guess, common sense. But depending on, the food that you have at home, maybe you and your significant loved one, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, fiance, you guys can make sandwiches or maybe cook a little dinner at home and just have a change of scenery. Go on a date in the park for a picnic and just see where things go. I think it's a really affordable way to kind of start the conversation over and kind of put the cell phones away, put the phones down, no social media, just to kind of, rekindle some things. Or if it's your first date, to really get to know each other. So I think that's the first idea, is to kind of go on a picnic. And then when you're on the picnic, you really get to learn about the other person and what they like and what they don't like as far as their food preferences, which can really come in handy in the long run. So let's get down to number 2. The second idea that I have is probably something that some of you or most of you have already done. If you have any old bread or biscuits or cornbread, whatever you have in your house, take your significant other, go to the park and feed the ducks. If it's a first date or a 20th date, go and converse, talk about the future. If you want kids, what type of animals do you like? Just talk and get to know each other. I think that's a good thing, especially going to the park. It's a good way to get out and just go see, the park and the scenery. And I think it's a good time spending. It's a good way to get exercise in too. So I think if you go to the park and feed the ducks, or if you don't feed the ducks, where I'm from in my city, we actually have paddle boats at this place called the Boardwalk. And the paddle boats is like $5 a person. So while you have the bread that you could feed to the ducks, you can literally paddle around and feed the ducks at the same time. So it's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, so let's move on to idea number 3. Idea number 3 might be something that maybe more men would enjoy rather than the ladies, which is to go play pool at a pool hall. If you're not really into going to bars, well, this is kind of idea 3 and 4 together. So if you don't like idea number 3, maybe you could do number 4. So I'm just going to put them together. So like I said, number 3, you can always go to a pool hall and play pool. I don't know where it is where you guys may live, but $10 for a pool table can at least get you through at least 10 games. And by then, you may be ready to go home or just do something else. However, if you feel uncomfortable, you guys hear my phone ringing? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So if you feel uncomfortable in a bar, my next suggestion, like I said, I'll put 3 and 4 together. My next suggestion would be take $10 worth of quarters and go to a video arcade. Have fun. Be a big kid. Challenge each other. See exactly who's more competitive than the other. Try to win your significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, a stuffed animal. You have Dave and Buster's. You have, I know a lot of times along the beach, they have like different like go-karts and arcade rooms and stuff like that, and they're really affordable. So that's definitely a good idea under $10 how to entertain each other. Is to definitely go to arcade rooms or go to the pool hall. So I think either one of those ideas are great. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to idea number 5. All right, so the last 5 ideas are actually some of my personal favorite, which is why I decided to save them for last, and I really hope you guys enjoy them too. So my 5th idea, of course, would be to cook dinner together. Cook something new for the both of you. Maybe she likes seafood. Maybe he likes southern food, Cajun food. Maybe one likes Italian and the other one likes Mexican food. It just kind of, or combine the 2 together. Make it a fun event. And if you have kids, involve the kids if you want to. It'll be a great date night. Just have something to kind of involve each other, and it costs no money. And use what you have in your refrigerator. I remember one time I did that, and we basically used just random stuff we found in the kitchen and refrigerator. Originally, we was kind of tight on money, so that's how it started. But it actually ended up being really fun, and we ended up really enjoying each other's company. And we ended up making some kind of chicken salsa, something, I don't even know what it was. But the point is, we had a lot of fun, and you know, get in the kitchen. And maybe if you don't know how to cook, maybe it was a good time you guys could teach each other. So on to idea number 6. So idea number 6 is basically when you and another couple basically get together and have a couples game night. And if you really want to kind of save money, there are all types of games that you can play that don't even involve you going out to buy supplies. There are games, it's this one game called MSM, and it's by a fellow YouTuber. I forgot his name, but I'm going to make sure to include his information in the description bar. And I'm telling you right now, that card game looks like so much fun. It's great conversation starters. And not only card games, but if you have Monopoly, maybe you have just a regular deck of playing cards. If you're from the South, maybe not even from the South, but I know in the South we play a lot of spades. So if you and maybe a couple of your friends or another couple can get together and have a couples game night at the house, or you know, just get together and have fun, maybe buy a bottle of wine, something cheap but still good, you guys can have fun. So I think that's a great idea to become friends with other couples, so that way you kind of know where you know what vibe you get from that couple. You kind of can determine what you guys like to do and what you don't like to do. So that brings me to my next idea number. All right, you guys. So idea number 7 is actually one of my, well, I won't say it was one of my favorites, but I really think it's a good way, especially if you're into soulful and sultry things. I think you could actually go and get a nice cup of coffee and go listen to some live music. I mean, I think more people do that more than they realize, and they don't realize how affordable it is. So I think being able to go get some coffee, or maybe you could go get some drinks and going to listen to some live music is really a good idea, especially if you want to get to know someone, or like I said, even if it's a first date or if you've been together for years. I think it's a great idea just to get out the house, and whether you want to listen to spoken word, live music, jazz, whatever type of music that you like. There are so many coffee houses depending on where you live, and maybe not. It's so many venues that actually just offer free events because artists, music or otherwise, love to get their music or love to get their work heard. So make sure you guys check that out. Look in your local newspaper and see if there are any live events nearby, and see which ones are free or really, really affordable. All right, so let's go on to the next idea. So idea number 8 is really, really cool because it could be a great way for you to see the city that you're in. For example, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Charlotte, I'm born and raised here. So Charlotte has came a long, long way from when I was a little girl. It has grown tremendously. We have a lot of people here from different cities, different countries, just all over the world. And it's a big city to be seen. So if you're on a date, you can actually get a tour of the city, whether you can pay somebody or you could actually just spend $2 or $2.25 and ride the train or the bus and just take a tour around the city and just look at different stuff. Or you can go, it's a lot of free museums in the area. You can go to the downtown library to see what's going on. You can always go to a community play at a community college or at a community theater to see what's going on. Always, you know, if you're from a big city, I know sometimes Chicago, New York, or LA, there's so much culture in a city. So make sure, even if that's where you're from, sometimes when you're from a certain city, you don't really all the times appreciate the culture that your city has. So if you are on a date and maybe both of you are from the same city, because you're from there, you might not have noticed something that has been there before, or you may see something that other tourists see and you never seen it before. So that's a great way just to get to know your city, to you know, go explore and go to parts of the city that you've never seen before. And you know, it's a good way to get around town and also to meet new people. So I really think that's good. And then along with that, kind of piggybacking off of that idea, a lot of times when you go explore the city, you find a lot of free things to do, like outdoor activities. You have yoga, they have wine and canvas. It's so many ideas that you could do that are free. All right, so let's move on to idea number 9 and 10. All right, last but not least, ideas number 9 and 10 go together, and they are my favorite because I am a movie buff. I love, love, love movies. I love going to movies. I like any type of movie, scary movies, independent films, I don't know, black and white movies, vintage. I mean, any type of movie. If it has a good plot, whether it's scary or a rom-com, or recently my friend Keisha got me into anime, so I like anime now too. So comedy, I love movies. I'm a movie buff. I'm aspiring to be a screenwriter, so I keep you guys filled in on how that goes. But ideas number 9 and 10 are basically my favorite. I mean, really my favorite. So basically, idea number 9 is, if you are not already a member of your local library, make sure you become a member of your local library. It's completely free. The reason why I say this is because, say you have a girl or a guy over to your home and you want to enjoy a nice movie. And some people may not have $1 and some change to get from Netflix, or maybe your card is overdrawn, or you just don't have the money, period, to get a movie. So when you rent movies or DVDs from the library, they are totally free. You can rent movies from the library, you guys, for free. You can get, I've rented as many DVDs as, I've rented as many as 4 DVDs at a time. Now, granted, they're not like the newest movies that just came out, but they're still great movies. I've rented movies that star all types of movies, actually, but they're really good, you know? So, I mean, you can rent the movies from the library for free. Like, it don't get no better than that. And then the number 10 idea, if you do have a little couple dollars or $5 to spare, you can always go to the dollar movie. I mean, at the most $2 per person. It's a great deal. So whether you want to go to the library and rent movies, or if you want to go to the dollar movie and pay your way into the movies, that's still a good idea too. So I hope you guys like all my ideas. They're really good ideas, all under $10. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to message me, or you can always leave a comment down below. Make sure, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.